Howdy y'all. My name's Pat. Got a modification here on a set of Ski-doo Rev Carbs. They're a set of Mikuni flat slides. If you ever got somebody, usually it's the ladies, complaining that the throttle is hard to pull, they usually complain of throttle thumb, sore thumb after working the throttle for a while. There was some discussion on Snowmobilers of New England, a Facebook page, about complaints about a throttle, a thumb being sore from pulling carburetors back for a while. So I figured I'd show a modification that I did on my two revs to reduce the spring tension on the carburetors. Now, I'm not condoning this. This is entirely up to you whether you want to do this mod or not. I have not personally had any issues with it. My wife loves it. She doesn't have any issues with, the pull of the carbs anymore. I don't hear any more complaints. I actually did it to my sled, and it's way nicer, way more pleasurable working the throttle now. So let me show you. It is entirely up to you, and it is on your hands as far as doing this and doing it correctly. All right. Basically, what you're going to start by doing is removing your carbs. This is not something that you're going to do in the sled. If you are, my hat's off to you. This is a spare set of carbs I have for a project I did. So for this demonstration, this is off of a 600 HO Rev. So basically what you're going to start with is you're going to remove the tapered screw, okay, from the bracket for your idle screw, okay, this being your idle screw. All right, you're going to remove that tapered screw, and to do that you'll probably have to push the throttle down out of the way to remove the screw. All right, the other screw you're going to end up loosening, and you'll probably need a set of vice grips to get in there because this screw is pretty tight, and it's in back here is this Phillips screw right here. All right, all you need to do is loosen this one. All right, you don't have to take it right out. And then what you can do is you can actually sneak a screwdriver back in there and snug it up a little bit to hold it out of your way so you can work. All right. Now, I already did this to this set of carbs. I'm going to turn this over this way so that you can see it with the floodlight. Let me move my camera over. This right here is the perch where you're going to find the spring rests, okay? You'll find the spring sitting right here, the actual tag end of the spring. All right? This is what you're going to see when you take your carbs off. The tag end of the spring will be sitting right here. What you will need to do is take a screwdriver and pry this end of the spring off and let it unwind, okay, so that it comes down around the bottom of this rest, okay. This will relieve the tension on the coil spring of the throttle shaft, okay, relieving tension on your throttle blades. Now, if you come around one full revolution, all right, it will be too much relief on the tension of the spring, all right? And if you'll know this by if you take the throttle and release it gently, it will not close the throttle plates all the way, okay? You don't get a fine snap when you drop this throttle plate down if you open it a little, okay? If you hear, you're not getting a definitive drop of the throttle blades, okay? So one full revolution is too far on this spring, all right? And what we're looking at is we're looking at this from the engine side of the carbs, all right? If we were on the engine, this is the engine side of the carburetor, okay? So what we need to do is this spring is going to back up underneath this part of the casting of this boss where the top screw for your carburetor slide cap goes. All right, you need your spring, you need to back your spring up so it stays right underneath this lip. All right, now I should have said at the very beginning, you are going to need a Phillips screw, okay, and it's a 6mm by 1.0, I believe, okay, that is a little bit longer than what this top screw is, okay. It's probably about an eighth of an inch longer, quarter of an inch longer, okay, and that's going to retain that spring. All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to remove this top screw, all right. Now what you're going to do is you want to get this tag end of the spring tucked up and under that boss, right underneath that casting. Okay, so now it's right here under the casting. Hoping you can all see that. All right. There's the tag end of the spring, right up under that casting. Okay. So now what you need to do is install your longer screw into the cap and cinch it down. Now notice when I bring that down, that goes down, and make sure that the tag end of the spring is behind that screw. So you could get away with an eighth, maybe a quarter of an inch longer screw, okay, to catch that tag end, all right? And that tag end is going to be trapped in between that boss. It's not going to come out because it's longer, okay? We're not worried about it flipping out this way. What we're worried about is having it come out from the side, okay? The screw is more of a safety to keep it from coming out this way, all right? So after you install your screw, make sure that it doesn't come out. That's what you're looking for, is to make sure it doesn't come out, okay? So once your longer screw is in, all right, just reverse your procedure. Make sure, put your idle screw bracket back in with your tapered screw. Okay. Tighten everything back up. Tighten your screw on the back, and you'll probably need your vice grips to retighten that screw in back. And your modification's done. Now, if you listen, when you close the throttle, if you open it just a little bit and snap it down, you get a definitive close of the throttle plate. So your slides come down and close all the way. So even if you were to close them gently, they do close all the way very positively. There's a definitive closure of the slides, and that's what you're looking for. If for some reason yours does not close with a definitive snap like that, when you close it gingerly, okay, with everything in place the way you see it, I would not recommend leaving it that way. I would place it back to the factory position the way it was. But I have done this to 3 sets of carburetors and had success with it. And all the results have been the same. It reduces the pressure by, I would say, probably half. And I have not had any issues. Now, I don't know, we're up here in New England. I don't know how this would be. Your mileage might vary as far as a colder climate. You guys out west. So, with that being said, you know, you may want to err on the side of caution when you get into a much colder climate to see how it is first. So replace all your screws, bring your idle bracket back down after and tighten up all your screws. Remount your carbs, and you should be all set. Hope you guys find this helpful. Good luck with any other modifications. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. Have a great day. Don't forget to have your cat spayed or neutered.